That's right.
Talking,
Oh, there they are. Hi.
Greetings. It's our weekly live stream.
And Star's back.
I'm back.
Yay.
From a very long sojourn.
Mm-hmm.
It felt long. I mean, it really was only 2 weeks.
It felt like a really long time.
But you did an amazing job. There was a puppet show.
There was.
There was an action figure show. I guess would be more accurate.
Yeah. And we had our lowest ratings to date.
What? No, you had.
I'm
not sure there's a ratings board, but
there's
I'm sure
not.
It was fantastic.
We're not on the Nielsen ratings or something.
No, I'm sure we are, and I'm sure it was fantastic. But welcome. It's our weekly live stream,
Yay.
And we're super glad to be here. And we're going to be talking, and of course there'll be prizes because I'm sure that's why you're all here. Not to see us, you're here to get prizes. And remember, how do you get prizes? You buy something, but you don't have to buy anything because no purchase required because that is the law. And that means you can also get a prize by just being in the game and chatting. And what do you chat?
You say, the sky is falling.
Like Chicken Little. And if you do it while you have a chicken, nothing extra happens.
No. But might be lucky.
Yeah, it'll be lucky. It'll be super lucky. So, and today's prizes include the heavy plate armor, that really sweet Shogun bow, the Obsidian Order cloth armor, a Heraldry Eternal pattern mega pack. So it's all the heraldry stuffs. Almost all, not the anyway. And the Viking Guard armor. It's going to be a bunch of prizes.
The OG heraldry stuff.
It's the OG, not the notice stuff, but it's going to be a bunch of heraldry stuff. So you want to get in on that by purchasing or typing "The Sky is Falling" with your pet chicken. Because
without.
You don't have to have a pet chicken.
No.
We're just adding that in because it's funny, and we're nothing but if not funny. We're not. Let's see. Also, double XP weekends. Just a reminder, in case you need a reminder. Probably don't. But because you guys are awesome and you helped us get the Release 56 stretch goals, that was the $35,000 stretch goal. You guys earned double XP for every weekend in August, and that started this morning. And so you get double XP all weekend long.
Is this the last weekend for that?
It is not the last weekend because it's every weekend in August. But it's the last Friday. Today is the last day to get Release 56 stretch goals. So not the last weekend for double XP, but it is the last weekend for Release 56 stretch goals. So you guys have done an awesome job so far. We have gotten the Ether Lich statue. We've gotten the Ether one-handed sword and Ether shield. Got double XP as we mentioned. We've got the Ether bow, not the Ether box. I know that was confusing. The Ether bow and Ether crossbow. Well, actually, you did get a box. Last weekend, you guys got the box of replenishing Ether dye.
Ooh,
so
glowy.
If you like that glowy blueness, you'll be able to have a dye. You'll be able to dye your stuff, and not just clothing. Because starting in Release 57, you'll be able to start dyeing decorations. So you'll be able to have a glowing blue couch.
Yes. And you can test that on QA right now, by the way. Please go ahead and do that. We've seen some other people doing it already, and they've created like a Tim Burton living room of glowing weirdness. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome or highly disturbing and breaks immersion, but whatever, to each his own. So just don't go on those lots that break your immersion, and problem solved.
Taste is subjective.
Or terrible.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't go into other people's houses in the real world and be like, this is the ugliest couch I've ever seen, right?
I do.
Oh.
I actually go into strangers' houses and tell them how terrible their taste is. Because that's how I roll. Because chaos. And terrible. I'm a terrible person.
I'm way more virtuous. I just go into people's houses and I say, "That's a really nice rainbow colored couch." Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You're sweet like that. So today is the last day. So, but we're already doing great. We're over 70,000, so we're getting really close to the next goal, which is if we hit 80,000, we'll get the village size ether dragon statue.
Dragon.
And if people go crazy today and we get to 90K, we'll get a set of ether weapons, including an ether axe, an ether one-handed spear, and an ether two-handed bludgeon. So who knows what can happen by midnight, because pretty much everything on the store is on sale, including the new player-made dungeon stuff that we added to the store, which we're going to be showing off later in the stream. Chris has a really amazing demo to show you guys. So there's 4 things you can get on the store right now, and there's going to be a craftable one as well. And I actually added some new screenshots to those store items earlier today, so you can see more of what those dungeons look like. And as a reminder, there's going to be 5 example dungeons in Release 57, and then in Q4 we'll be launching the player-made dungeon features. So, and we're making amazing progress. It's looking really cool and very exciting. We're going to be showing that off later, and it's very cool.
There are already some people on QA who have the dungeons placed. Go find them and place them. It should be Tazar, Ekondis, Liz, aka Lana, and and Alley-Oop. They've all placed stuff. So go in, test the dungeons, bug them. We have a new bug forum for that too, by the way.
Yeah, there's a whole new sub forum in the R57 QA bug forums just for player-made dungeons, and which reminds me that Release 57 is launching next week on Thursday.
Yay!
And it's already on QA, as we mentioned a couple times already, and so you should definitely jump on there. And as a reminder, if you test on QA, you're eligible for the QA testing incentive rewards, and those are some of the rarest, coolest stuff. There's a bug painting, and there's a bug cloak, and there's like little antennas you can wear. There's all sorts of cool stuff that you can get, cool rare rewards by testing on QA. And you guys also, while you're doing it, besides getting the rewards, you're helping us get the release ready and tested and debugged before it goes live next week on Thursday, and that's a big help for us. So please help us out. And Release 57 is going to be amazing. There's so much cool stuff going in it. Once again, the team has been time and space, done more stuff in a month than is literally possible. I don't know how they do it. Dyeable decorations. So we've got banners that are going to be dyeable, including the heraldry banners. So finally, I know that it's the banners, like they've been this like rough canvas looking, and they don't match your cool heraldry that all of you guys made, and now you're going to be able to get the color to match the colors of your heraldry. It's going to be amazing. Now, just a thing so you guys understand with the dyeable decorations, it's not a global change that we just flip a switch and all of the decorations magically work with dyes. We have to actually go and we have to make a mask, which is a thing where you go and you open the item in the art tool and you draw a line of like what part is dyeable and what part is not dyeable. And that means we have to literally open up every single asset by hand and modify them. So it's going to be a slow manual process, but we're going to do it as quickly as we can. And so for Release 57, it's going to be most of the banners, including the heraldry banners, the craftable banners that are in the game. It's going to be the canvas furniture, the fine white and gold, and the fine red furniture. Those are all going to be, and we're going to try and squeeze a few extras in there, but at least those, and that's about 30 something, almost 40 items that'll be dyeable, and more than enough to offend your neighbors with your Dayglow furniture. So
yes,
please offend your homeowners association with your stuff.
Yeah, and even pot owners can hang the or put the freestanding banners up.
Yeah.
So governors, go crazy.
Yeah.
Make like rainbow pathways or something.
Yeah. So in additional other things that are coming in release 57, so blue roses, so a new rose color. So I know that you guys have seen you've seen the blue roses on the live stream. Travis decorated those without knowing
No,
that.
it was me.
Sarah
did.
It
It was me.
Without knowing that they
I have
actually
a
weren't
tattoo.
available in the game. And then you guys kept asking, what are the blue roses? So those are now going to be in agriculture. And there's a new merchant, florist merchants that specialize in roses. And whenever we add more flowers, they'll add more flowers. And there's also new individual color bouquets and arrangements. Those of you who played with those before knew that it used to be just a mixed color arrangement and a mixed color bouquet, and now there's individual color arrangements and bouquets, recipes for all of those. So you'll be able to have all sorts of different colors there. There's also tons of bug fixing, including the infamous naked deck swap. So those of you who've experienced that very chagrin-inducing bug where you go to swap your deck and all of a sudden you're naked, that's fixed now. Like those nightmares you have where you go to school and all of a sudden you like.
And then you switch your deck.
Yeah.
And you're naked.
Yeah, exactly. The charge attack versus where there's an interactive object underneath your key, that's fixed. Unsummonable tame pets where you would get into a state in those you couldn't summon your tame pet, that's fixed. Stuck combos, looting bodies underwater, tons and tons of bug fixes. There's a new option, you can hide your helmet finally. I know that the initial implementation had it, so there were some concerns about PvP and being able to hide your helmet. So we initially implemented it so you couldn't hide it when you were in PvP. We're gonna make that. We're fixing that. You'll be able to hide it whether you're in PvP or not. So let's see. We're making some. There's going to be an overall over the next release and next quarter. By the end of the year, there's going to be major increases to loot across the board, especially at the mid and high end ranges. We've made a minor improvement to boss loot in this release, but that's only a tiny part of a big major change that's going to be coming up. The puzzle box that's been a pledge reward that has only been functioning as a container that actually is going to be working now. There's a little puzzle that when you solve that puzzle you get some cool rewards. That's finally working. There's a new kind of lot that player-owned owners can place now, which is it's called a full water lot. Yay! And so you can place it out in the water completely offshore, so you don't have to have a shoreline to place water lots now. There's a new musical instrument, the ornate pipe organ, for all your opera haunting needs.
And you can place a single red rose on it.
Oh.
Actually, maybe you can't, but near it.
Yeah. And if you got one of those white masks, half masks that we made a long time ago that have expired, you could wear that too.
And the tuxedo?
Oh.
I was a big fan when I was like 11.
Could sing those songs. All right. Let's see. And the R54 Tropical and the R55 Lord British stream items, all but one of those from each are done, and those will be live in R57. We've got some more stretch goal items for the episode 2 Mount Stretch Goal store, the horse mask, and we finally finished the barn.
I love the barn.
Yeah, the barn is
so
great.
Cute.
It's very cute. For all your, so you can wear your horse mask and you can role play in your barn.
So we have like the stables in there, and you can lock the gate, so like you can make your friends just like role play horses.
Yeah, if you're into that.
If you're into that.
And speaking of that, we actually moved the fancy riding outfit from the wearable store to the stretch goal store because we were like, that's horse themed. It should totally be part of the Mount Stretch Goal store. And when we did that added instantly another 5K to that Stretch Goal store. So that's helping
closer to mounts.
Yes. Virtue and companion gear that had been previously flagged as no trade and or quest gear, so you couldn't get patterns, you couldn't use it as any part of you couldn't use it as decorations, so it basically was separated completely from the player economy. That's all fixed now. the dungeon entrances and example dungeons, which we're going to be talking about more later. We got some more side quests, including the hospital gown, side quest that'll get you the hospital gown, and 2 new emotes. The ring bell has nothing to do with shame. And
it's like the opposite of shame.
Totally.
It's calling the children to
right.
to dinner or something.
Totally. And palm punch. So, get you. All right. And then a bunch of scene polish, including we read a really interesting review recently and pointed out we still haven't finished polish on several scenes, and so there are some NPCs that don't have names and conversations, and they just have a generic like, I don't have a name yet. And it's like, wow, that was a really, really dumb placeholder to have for those NPCs. So in Release 57, we've replaced that conversation with a I don't talk to Outlanders conversation, which actually ties to the overall fiction of how Novians don't really trust Outlanders. Mm-hmm. It also ties to the edifice of purity, and so it actually is a better response for those NPCs than I don't have a name yet, which is...
They're not nice. Don't talk to those NPCs.
And we polished the visuals for rainy weather. We're increasing the frequency for Lost Vale. So Lost Vale was at like a 28-hour frequency, and now it's going to be at 11 hours. So it'll appear a lot more frequently. It's going to be a little chaotic though when it appears. So to help with that, if you complete a quest inside the Lost Vale, you're going to get a crystal ball decoration that the Lost Vale appears inside the crystal ball and will tell you when it's available. And then we made a ton of quality of life improvements for Release 57. So banks are now global. Yay! So there's no such thing as a local bank. So regardless of where you put your stuff in, banks, you can access all your stuff anywhere you want as long as you're at the bank, including the remote bank access devices. We made some polish to the health and focus bars. So now they give some color status of when they are rising and falling. That we made the loot window that you get when you're out looting stuff a lot more compact, and we increased the size of the icons in it, so it's a lot more easy to identify when you get stuff and what it is without taking up a bunch of real estate. So when you're in the heat of combat and you accidentally open a loot bar, it's not going to take up a bunch of real estate in your window. We added zone information and last online to the guild screen. Recipes now stack. All players can now skip sieges. You can also get past control points. You're not forced into those scenes. Roving encounters have a smaller radius, so it's easier to avoid them. NPC slowdown has been removed, so when you're running through town, you don't slow down when you hit an NPC. People were just getting around that anyway by just being in combat mode, so it was pointless to have it. Yeah. Supply bundle contents now show when you're opening them in group chat. We improved the auto selection when you're crafting items. So when you're those of you who craft a bunch of items, and when you double click a recipe and it auto selects what item to put in there, like when you're socketing, for instance, you'll notice that often it would auto select an item that you literally just socketed. And it's like, I just socketed that one. I don't want to socket that. So that has been fixed. So it's a lot more polished about which one it auto selects. There's now a status tooltip for your watering status, so it tells you if it's been watered or it needs watering. And when you go to sell stuff to NPCs, we increased that number to 256 items at a time. It was only 50. So that's just a sample of all the quality of life improvements that we made in Release 57. And that's just the highlights. I know I've been talking a long time, but literally that's just the highlights of Release 57. And so a reminder, it is on QA. You can go to the QA bug forums. A draft of my post is in there right now. And I know you guys are asking about the Wyvern. We're still working on it, the polish on that guy. So we didn't want to take just the dragon and scale him down. We wanted him to have a unique look. There have been some polish issues and animation issues with the face that's taken a little longer, and lockdown was yesterday. But because it's so important. I'm letting work on the Wyvern go past lockdown because I really want it in there too. So we are doing everything we can to get release 57 to get the Wyvern in release 57. We're working on it. It's taking a little longer than we wanted. Letting you guys know the status on that. Mm-hmm. And speaking of status, you guys, I'm a little late. I am 5 minutes late on prizes. The horror.
Oh no.
All right. So, Mad Jock, you get the heavy plate armor set. Ari Stoner gets the heavy plate armor pattern pack. Ooh. Volbrig Clinking Beard gets the ornate Shogun bow. Mandalar gets the ornate Shogun bow pattern pack. And Seraphina's going to read the rest.
Okay. The Obsidian Order cloth armor set goes to Alley Oop. The Obsidian Order cloth armor pattern set goes to Airtie Vodalian. Oh, this next one's going to kill me. The Heraldry Eternal pattern mega set goes to Experon Storm Spectre. And the Viking Guard armor goes to Jax Culkin. Congrats, everyone who won the prizes. And remember, we're having one more prize ending drawing. All you need to do is go in game and say the sky is falling, or go buy something in the store. Anything. It doesn't matter. And if you buy something over $5, then you will get the R56 stretch goals too. So it's like so many different things. And
it's the last day for us to hit more stretch goals and for you to be eligible unless you're part of the rewards program. And a reminder, we now track the stretch goals for the entire length of the release. But this is the last day until midnight tonight to hit another stretch goal and for you to make a purchase if you're not part of the rewards program.
Yes, so we're so close to the what was it?
Dragon.
Dragon. And then the next one is the axe, spear, and bludgeon. And then for 100,000, what I really want, and we should just make it anyway, like
the wizard robes.
The wizard robes. Come on! I want to be a wizard. It's a wizard.
Who doesn't want to be? Yeah. All right. So last couple of items, and then we'll get to the player-made dungeon sneak peek. All right. So physical goods. So I made a post in the forums. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. So we got an update from the manufacturer. So there are 3 shipments and 2 versions of the Shroud of the Avatar physical boxes. There's a retail version and there is a collector version. The collector version is the one that folks who were either participated in the Kickstarter or bought items off of our website before January 4th, 2016. The retail version of the box doesn't include a bunch of the exclusive items that people got from the website or the Kickstarter. And that version we used for a promotion at Gamescom earlier this week. And that's also the version that's going on a ship like literally any day now to Amazon and should appear on the Amazon store mid-September-ish. And then the collector version is the version that will go out to all of our backers. And that is going to be leaving the warehouse literally any day now. And we'll be sending out another update as soon as those start shipping. And everyone who is eligible for those, you'll get an email from the manufacturer saying your item has shipped. So, but we will also post about those items as soon as, in addition to that individual email, we'll post a general update saying the manufacturer is shipping the individual collector versions of the boxes. So that's the physical goods update. But again, there's a forum post that I made, and as every time there's a status change, we'll make another post. But if we're silent, that's because if you see us being silent about it, that's because we don't have a status update to give you. It's not because we're trying to keep secrets. It's literally we just don't.
We just love secrets.
Yes. No, it's because we didn't have a status, but now we had a status update.
Yeah.
We give it to you, and we'll give you another one as soon as we get another status update. Let's see, upcoming events. So Richard is going to be at Dragon Con, not this weekend, but next weekend. So right after Release 57 goes live, which is going to be next Thursday, Richard is going to be at Dragon Con. So check him out. He's going to give a talk, all things British. So check him out. And if you're going to be at Dragon Con, I think some players are trying to organize a get together. And Richard will attend. We'll just make sure you guys get in touch with them, and we'll help organize that.
And if you cosplay anything, Shred of the Avatar, or your character or something like that, please take pictures and send it to us. We'd love to see them.
Yes. And then October we've got SodaCon coming up, and then again Release 57 is launching next Thursday. I just went through that giant list of all the exciting things. The game is going to be much better. The quality of life is going to be so much better. And then we've got Release 58 and Q4 coming up. That's going to have all sorts of amazing things. Fishing Phase 2 is going to be so cool. And we're going to be talking about fishing in the Release 57 live stream, which is going to be on September 7th. We'll be making a post about that next week. We'll be telling you we're going to be doing a deeper dive about player dungeons. We're going to give you a short sneak peek today, but then we'll be talking like an hour plus about it on September 7th for the Release 57. And then we'll be talking about fishing in that as well. September 3rd, Monday, September 3rd. Yes, I know it's Labor Day, but DJ Darkstar doesn't take days off, so I'm going to be doing a dance party for Release 57 on September 3rd. That's going to be in Crab Navir, the player-owned town, and we'll be making a post about that next week as well. And I think that's everything. So we're going to get Mr. Chris in here, Atos, and he is going to be talking about dungeons.
Dungeons, but not dragons.
Not dragons.
Not Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, dragons.
I was going to volunteer to get them, but that's okay. I can be on camera for a while by myself.
All right.
Dungeons and Wyverns.
Dungeons and Wyverns. That's
I've been doing this, like, this has been my Wyvern impression.
Well, he's the teen dragon. He's full of angst.
He's Teen Dragon.
All right.
Yeah.
Your throne.
Okay,
Hi, everyone.
Let me get Unity playing.
Where's Travis?
Oh, yeah, we got to get Travis. Can you get Travis? Yeah. I had to pause it because it was raining and making noise.
Oh.
Okay. Here, let me get it.
Why don't you just move?
Okay. Well, I got to get OBS to play it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that you do have to do.
Okay.
Looking on the camera and smile so they know what we look like. Oh, God.
There you go.
I'm in a little corner.
No, you're
What do we
still
click
there.
on for to get Unity to be the focus?
There. It's already for the focus.
Oh, okay,
We just
great.
have to
Yeah.
We're
maximize
already
the screen.
small window.
Yeah, you're already small window. So, all right. There you go.
Okay.
Chris, you have 30 minutes, and then I'm cutting you off. Because we don't want to give him too much. Because remember, we have a deep dive on the 7th where we're going to do even more. So,
2 weeks off.
whip them into
have
a
more.
frenzy.
Will do.
Okay. And you're going to have prizes in 15 minutes.
Oh, look, it's raining.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So we didn't do too much preparation for this. We really just wanted to get in and talk about player dungeon stuff and let you know current state of things. And we probably should do your side of stuff first. You wanna,
Yeah, sure.
do you know the dungeon
I do
names
know
by
the
heart? For those who don't know, the player-created dungeons are one of our big pushes. Get player-created content into the game to allow you guys to create your own custom stuff and more sandbox play. That's not... You just trying to find it before you copy over to the other one?
Are we doing it in, yeah.
Okay, looks like that's now the focus.
Oh, I'm not sure of the... I'm gonna unplay and you talk and then I'll load it and we'll go. I'm not sure of the load level. What
Okay.
it went into the build is.
But anyway, so The player created dungeons are something that we're adding so that you guys can create your own content. This goes along with a number of other features that together we believe will make our game have one of the most immersive sandbox experiences out there, which is you guys will be able to create quests, you'll be able to create storylines, you'll be able to build in treasure and stuff like that. So the player created dungeon stuff, which I'll show after he shows his stuff, is the player created stuff is all you place it, everything's dynamic. You can actually add rooms, take out rooms, switch rooms, craft rooms. The static stuff is what is going in for R57. We're going to show that first, and these are a bunch of different dungeons. Sorry, I got distracted by the text. I'm not very good at multitasking.
I'm getting better, but not.
Yeah.
So these are examples.
Yeah, so these are example dungeons. And for those who also were curious, one of the things you get from these when you buy them, you'll get for this release, you'll get a basement-like hatch that you'll be able to place down and have a player dungeon that'll take you to one of these static dungeons straight from your lot. They do give rewards. We're still balancing what type of rewards to give and all that type of stuff. So these are examples for things you will be able to make. So the cool part is with these, when you if you buy one of these in the store, you can also craft the basic version, but you will get the blueprints to make all of the parts that you see here, all the different rooms here.
Yeah, so it's when you get one of these, when we roll to that system, we'll take that back, but then you'll be given all the pieces that you had to create that. And it's kind of a sample set of, you can go buy more with gold or kodos, more hallways and rooms to add on to your...
Yeah, and the base versions of everything will be craftable just in-game, find the stuff, mine the rocks. Then there'll be some cooler stuff that'll be drop in game. That's one of those things that's just going to be rare blueprints. So blueprints for different rooms will drop in game.
Oh, that's cool.
And then the final version is there'll be some mostly visual improvements like the room that he's showing you right now. That'll be for sale in the store for cool deco stuff. So this is actually one of the rooms you'll get with the
125.
With the 125 point dungeon. So this is just showing off some of the stuff that we can do. And again, this will be a single room that you'll be able to place however you want to. The dungeon setup for R57 is static. R58?
8 or 9, yeah.
Or 9, we'll see. It's moving along really quick, but it'll be available so you can actually craft it and then place it yourself.
All right. These ones might be store only, these crazy marble ones.
Yeah, the crazy. And again, we're trying to, as always, we try to make sure you can make a room this size. It's just not going to have as cool a decos.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the cool water going down the wall or whatever.
And some of these rooms are going to be encounter rooms, which is a cool system you're talking about, like the leveling up and some of these are just straight up. We wanted to make some rooms to go put your chest in or go hang out and live in.
Yeah, because that's the idea is that we're not going to tell you what you have to do with these spaces. If you want to craft.
Loki.
If you want to craft this space and use it as a replacement for your dungeon.
What prices?
No, that's the prices. Low level rooms.
Oh, thank you. Perfect. Thank you, Keith.
Yeah, but if you want to craft a dungeon yourself and you're making it just to replace your own basement so you can have a more customizable basement, that's totally up to you. But if you're actually crafting it so other people can come to it, that's great. There's actually going to be a system where you'll be able to go to the town criers. Like now you can go and see where people's houses, what open lots there are, and that type of stuff. There'll be a similar thing that'll be there for dungeons, so you can go and see information on dungeons. It'll show you what are the public dungeons, which one's the popular,
that's cool.
Which is the highest rated.
Run around people's dungeons, yeah.
So you can go and see other people's, and so it'll kind of be the promote your dungeon, try to get people to come visit your dungeon type stuff.
So this one, if you have this in this demo version, the surfaces don't have deco services for but when we roll it to the real system, next release or the one after that, these surfaces will. So I was giving an example of, how a decoed room. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but and there's also a cool couple of new things in here that came out with this release. No underground layers complete without pipe organ. This is the store ornate pipe organ. I don't think whatever character this have is going to have any ABCs to play with. sounds better with an. And that was our first iteration on the sound files for the organ. We know it sounds a little more hockey rink than like
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Captain Nemo. I have charge. I have the charge ABC, but not on this character. We're gonna iterate on that, so don't fret. And then another cool thing that we just put in, Bobby and Keith helped a bunch, is we are changing the frequency at which Lost Veil appears and is accessible to make it accessible over more frequent time frames. And this is a deco. There's a quest, or will be a quest in Lost Veil, that you can earn this crystal ball. When we put it in your house, it'll kind of just sit there. And then when you see it like start to glow in this miniature little Lost Veil, you know Lost Veil's open. Like, or if one of your friends' houses has it. So we didn't have a crystal ball in the game, so that means like Lost Veil's open. You can go join Lost Veil. But I'm kind of excited to have some crazy.
They're asking what's the frequency. Is it 11 hours? What is it?
What was the number? It was. I think it's a little hour. It's a Bobby thing. He had a few charts and he wanted a prime number. I think it is 11 hours. He had all kinds of reasons for it. Yeah. So it'll be more frequent, and then it'll stagger better through the hours each day. And there's also some other Lost Veil issues that they worked on. So we had some like example little like encounters in these rooms. These are not indicative of the full system of encounter rooms.
But you're on GM Ghost, so they're not fighting you.
Well, I'm GM Ghost because
don't change it.
This isn't a real character with decks or anything. I have a real character to test it with, but yeah, we're working on a system to like get the hot tub, like a character with gear and ready for a tier 4 or tier 5 scene.
That's what they need for texture. So
swimming.
The lines out there, it gets blurry too quick.
A little swimming. Or the opposites. So this is just like an example of this room you will get. The encounters that are in here will be subject to change. A lot of this stuff will be, but the physical geometry count on that being pretty close, if not identical. So you can just like there's T intersections and X intersections and straights.
I'll show off that stuff in a little bit when I do my dungeon building. Cause I'm actually gonna start from scratch and build a dungeon for you guys. Oh, yeah. It'll just be using the basic set that you're all familiar with. The ones you're seeing here with these the cooler wall textures. There's actually 3 different versions.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're the same size, so they'll
all snap together. We just gotta get some pieces so that they can mesh together. For those who don't know how the system works, it actually works off. You get a certain number of points to build your dungeon, and then each room, based on like the square footage and features of the room, has a certain point number. The meter, the yardstick is 1 8x8x5 chunk of room is roughly 1 point.
And then when we make these rooms, because they have built-in lights and potentially deco surfaces to add more stuff, they cost a little more than the 8x8, so people can't create something that doesn't run, which we don't want that. So the points we've done our best to apply point cost to different rooms. This is one of the larger rooms. This light should be volumetric. If you see the screenshots, I need to know why. I think I need to add a better light setting script.
But only in the editor that it's not working?
No, I've seen it working in the editor before too. I'm not sure, but I'll look into that. So this is one of the examples. This is an example of the kind of moon gate access. What do we call that? The druid ring.
And so this is really just so you can get an idea of like what a 125 point dungeon looks like. And again, this is one of those things also that we as devs have seen a lot. But flying around a dungeon makes it feel small versus running through the dungeon where you will get lost in a dungeon that's 125 point dungeon. I think I pointed at the sewer maps. Those are kind of in the 100 to 150.
Oh yeah, actual dungeons in the game are about, if not smaller, than a lot of these, like running around the halls. And we realize right now the lobby is the only room with an Ankh. We'll have Ankh rooms. Like here, add an Ankh room, so you don't have to go all the way back. Like we realize that you guys are gonna want some Ankh rooms, especially.
Is that a volumetric light thing?
That's just some fake particle
that's fake.
effects to fake some. That is set to volumetric. I need to look into that. It's fake.
Fake.
Fake VFX.
Good.
We can hop to another one because
Okay.
Keith has sent me this. Let's check out the 100-point one.
And those also, I'm sure, are wondering is how you expand them. That they'll be, it'll work very similar to bank slots, and that you can buy for like the first 25 points is like 1,000 gold a point, and then the next 25 is like 2,000 gold a point. Then the next 25 is 3,000 a point. The next 25 is 4,000. You hopefully see the pattern, and then that just continues on and hits some cap. But anyways, you can basically expand that nearly infinitely. Kind of the target for like max size dungeon is we shoot for roughly 1,000. Am I hearing birds? in your dungeon?
Yeah, I think maybe this needs a pass on the default music deck. Well, we got a week.
All right,
There's some birds.
4 working days.
Yeah.
This is a 100-point dungeon. So I think this is like the absolute base size without spending a penny, without spending a gold. That you would get with, is this like a town or a city? I forget what size gets that. Actually, it may be a village. This may be the village, the base village size that you get, what you start with, and then you can expand it for 1,000 gold. For 25,000 gold, you could add it up, get it up to 125.
You can
points.
get really big, like pretty fast, and then to get exponentially huge dungeons, it'll ramp up. But I'm pretty excited. Like I'd probably be happy with. I've been messing around the rooms. Like probably 75 would give me everything I wanted. This is kind of another example of that same room that was blue, but it's green. I put Bogmen in here that's subject to change. They just seem like good drippy water room examples of guys to fight. A lot of the monsters we put in these sample ones are our version with, because we don't want these to become the new farming spots, but it should still get decent rewards or just tests for your dungeon if you want to have one. But the real like people fiddling around with encounters and ramping up their difficulty, we don't have in these examples, but we'll have trap hallways and treasure rooms and the
And
end
there'll be
goal.
some placeable traps as well that you can just place them arbitrarily in places. Not in the middle of encounter rooms where the creatures just walk over the arrow trap over and over again and die.
So this is a blue marble set. This is different from the green marble set, and there's different caps and hallways, and you can decorate them.
So talking about the encounter rooms. So the encounter rooms that will be in the actual dungeons will not be these types. They'll be encounter rooms. You'll probably find blueprints dropping off creatures. So that's one of the things that you can look for is we look for more part of our loot pass that we plan to take, integrate over release after release for several months, is making more unique drops off of specific places. So you can have like one of the unique things that might be dropping is a blueprint to craft whatever room that creature's in. So if there's a boss in a room somewhere,
that's cool.
like there's I know in one of the sewer maps there's like the demon room where it's got that cool 8-wall thing. That'll actually be, if you kill him enough times, that'll be one of the things, rare drops that'll come off him is a demon room that actually looks like that. That's a demon room spawner.
And then you'll need to go harvest a lot of stone.
And then you'll need to go harvest a lot of stone to craft it all, and then you'll need to go, and if you want to level it up, he'll start off super weak. He'll start off as the weakest demon, which is still pretty powerful. But then you'll have to level it up by, haven't nailed down exactly whether you can do it anywhere or whether it has to be clearing that room over and over again. But it'll basically be you're going to be farming demons because part of the level up process is to either recraft that room as the next notch up, or to build totems that you can actually use. You'll put it in the deco spot.
You're leveling up rooms.
You're basically, that's really what you're doing is you're leveling up rooms. So you level up the rooms by playing the rooms over and over and over again.
Do you want to show them the interface where it's super cool, the building of a dungeon?
Sure.
I don't know if you need to unplay or the low level.
I forget what the name of that dungeon is.
Dungeon Stone?
Yeah.
You might unplay and look it up in the...
Yep, give us a few minutes here.
On your screen, I think it was called Stone Dungeon.
Yeah,
the
it's like
display
Stone Dungeon something. The interface is all wrong. Keeps changing my interface.
I put it on default because I didn't have Project one. we all customize our layouts for Unity plus whatever 3 programs depending on discipline. So you get in the hot tub and your hotkeys are wrong. A shopping mall dungeon?
It'll probably be granite will be what you collect to make things. The different things will have different stuff that you're collecting for it. So some of it may actually be like, hey, you got to collect a bunch of ore to do this one, ore and timber type stuff.
That's cool.
Oh wait, you know what I actually want to do is I don't want to go there. I want to go to Deco Test. That's the wrong window. Deco Test. There we go. I want to show them how they'll actually enter into the
Oh, you have a real hash that works.
Yeah. Right now, so the system, as I've mentioned in the past, part of the appeal of this system is that it works off of existing technology that we have that we're really just advancing. Now that we've got this, that's the thing we've been talking about is episode 1 was pretty much relaying the foundation for a lot of different stuff. And now we're trying to reuse some of that foundation to build, here's the cool system now that we're only a few steps away from. And this is one of those things, because really if you think about basements versus a dungeon that you could build yourself, are we supposed to do pricing? Okay, that's good. This will be the halfway mark. You can distract them while I try and find all the different stuff.
I don't think I'm being distracted.
Prisoning. I don't know if I'm on camera.
You are,
I'm
right
sure
there. See?
You are
All right.
5 seconds ago.
I'm not tall enough to be out of the shot. God, out of my way. Okay. All right, prisoning. We have heavy plate armor set. Winner is. Oh, this name's gonna bite me in the ass.
Whoa.
Faunage. That's P-F-A-U-N-A-U-G-E. Faunage.
That sounds right.
Faunage.
Is it like Fanoof, the hockey player?
Heavy plate armor pattern pack. I don't play.
That was a good question
sport.
up there.
Heavy plate armor pattern pack by winner is Elier Derock. Ornate Shogun bow, Shimizu. That one I can pronounce. Ornate Shogun bow pattern pack, Graham Wormsbane. Obsidian Order cloth armor set, Christ Pallid. Obsidian Order cloth armor pattern set, Fluffy Dave.
That's cool. I like the new Obsidian art is my favorite wearables.
Oh yeah. Heraldry Eternal pattern mega set,
Wow.
Apollo Blade Runner.
That's a good get.
Tears in the Rain. Viking Guard armor, Artemis. Congrats, prize winners.
Yay.
Thank you.
Someone had the question that if they get a blueprint, will the blueprint be valid? Can they recreate as many rooms as they want because they own the blueprint, or will that consume the blueprint?
So the plan is that it'll consume the blueprint on most of them. We've talked about either making like kind of the base set, like here's a hallway, here's a T intersection, making those either the blueprint never goes away and you just use it over and over again, or making it so they're just, you buy them at a merchant for 100 gold. We haven't fully decided on that. It'll be one of those two things most likely, though. Either it'll stay around, but the more rare rooms, like here's the demon room or whatever, those will be one-off drops that it consumes the blueprint when you craft it. And when I say blueprint, really what that is kind of one of the early concepts we have from crafting, which is that sometimes there's recipes, but you want to make sure there's some key that's consumed to limit it. And that's really what this is from a design standpoint, is the blueprint is the key to be able to craft this really cool thing. So right now, as I mentioned, we're using the basement system. I didn't have it hooked up to one of the cool doors just because I couldn't find one of the cool doors. And so when you come into it, it's going to look very much like a basement. So the way these are going to work is there's going to be outside, there'll be a few new properties set, which are actually there already, I believe. But you can set it to whether it's in deco mode or play mode. When you're in deco mode, it looks like this. This is what you'll see when you start off a dungeon, is you got your exit. And then, and again, this is the craftable starting room versus the cooler crafting room starting room that Travis showed you a little while ago. So this is kind of the basic version and the basic wall set. And again, this is, it's not horrible. This is what you guys have been seeing for a long time in the game. So then, through this, you can just come over, and if you have some different things in there, bloop. So I've now placed
That's pretty cool.
a piece that I can now expand off of. And you can see like that next one, when I'm in whatever piece you're in, it gives you the connection points for each of those. So
You guys described the system, and I think, oh, take a while to make, but
yeah, and that was the whole thing of reusing the technology and the building off the foundation we have. We already had for basements. Everybody's seen basements, and you've seen that it's like 20,000 plus decos can stream in. I forget what the record is, but using that same thing, just having the mechanics. We got basically the big dungeon pieces are replacing instead of having furniture in there. You have big dungeon pieces that stream in.
So could we potentially have like a list of all the pieces rather than
So this may be what we end up with for the very first iteration, but we will see whether this survives. It may be that you pull up, your inventory, and then you've got like one of the tabs becomes dungeon pieces or something like that, and you just click on that, and then you just double click to see. So having this in here, it shows you like if it's a legal piece, the accept will be green. If not, it will be grayed out. So some pieces won't be legal. So you saw I was flipping through these guys to switch to different ones.
like some rooms just can't go right to another room? You need a hall.
Or you need a hallway. You need some type of or it may just be colliding with another piece, based on your dungeon.
Yes, there will be slope stairs.
Yes, I think I actually got those in and working.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen that.
And also, I got it in and working. Just to be clear, today was the first time I've actually touched this system. All the work on the tech side has been from one and only, so send him your love letters. But he did a knock-up job. I think most people knew I was on vacation last week, and I came back, left with not much, and came back to, look, there's a working dungeon system. Pretty much in tears. I was so happy with how quick he cranked this stuff out.
He was very happy. We all were happy.
So that was you can select the different piece types that you've crafted. And these are just some of the basics that we have in there now.
Mm-hmm.
I just started hooking up some more today. I hooked up 3 or 4 different new pieces today using the samples that Justin had for basically, he just had like the 4 basic pieces. But you can also see each piece has multiple connections to find. So what's happening here, although it may look a little confusing on the screen, is when I'm going from connection 1, you can imagine this is an L piece, and so it's got 2 connections on it. They're both sealed off until I place them down, but so this is swapping which connection is actually connected to it.
We got possible to get in control of lighting options. We are considering adding lighting to each hall piece, or we also considering making deco surfaces on the hall pieces, so it might be dark and place your own lights. I kind of prefer that in housing. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like this is in your house all the time, you can't get rid of it, which is nice when you first put it down because it's not black, but eventually you kind of want to do your own lighting. So we are talking about, we haven't totally officially, I think, decided, are we going to put torches in each segment or just let people do their own lighting? I think we're leaning towards just do your own lighting, and it's going to be dark at first. Deal with that and fix it.
Let's see, I'm trying to remember this one I want to key. And also, I can almost guarantee we will see some bug or two that while we're doing this demo, because as I mentioned, I just started playing with this today, really. I saw it demoed when I came back from my trip. But so I'm trying to think about the room sizes. I'm trying to make the connection back to that other hallway.
Will skill caps or PvP mode or custom combat make, I don't know, that's a broad question, I'm sure. Any plans for basement packages we can purchase like with papers? So you'll go to the store and let's say I want blue marble room. So it'll be a little pack with like a few different intersections and some straights and like maybe include a room or two. And so like the higher end, fancier stuff, you can go shop around and get little, what would you call them, kits. Little kits that include different rooms that you can go down in place. And you'll need to increase the piece limit.
Oh snap, that worked.
If you reached it.
So that's one thing that I saw that I already told Justin, or pardon me, one and only about, was there's some places where it'll put the piece down, you'll see the piece in place,
Yeah.
but the accept won't be there, but it'll still look bad. So we kind of need to make those systems. We need to figure out what we're going to do with that, just not swap it out or gray out up top rather than having it. So I just made the connection for those who got lost already in my probably 10-point dungeon here. I came up here, placed a T intersection, placed a room, and then I placed a hallway connection off over there. And I made the connection. Boom!
Now to expand.
Oh, and it looks like we may actually only have 5 minutes left here. Star says he's going to cut me off, so I better go ahead and show off the. Oh, let me show off first.
Can they set dungeons to be PvP?
I think I have. Oh, crud, I didn't set the. Hold on. I've got the stairs in there. I'll survive without showing that.
Yes, there are ramps and stairs, yeah.
Yes, there are ramps and stairs. And actually, hold on.
Which you have seen if you did adventure many dungeons or not.
Player done. Done.
Barack, we will try to host another streamer after this. It was just me last time and I didn't know which button to press, but Star is here and we'll try to host somebody. Can you have a dragon in your dungeon? Are we gonna have dragon in kind of rooms? I would imagine in like a really large cave room.
Well, maybe I didn't get that one checked in.
I'm gonna say maybe, and then people above my pay grade can agree. I don't see why not.
All right, I'm not gonna be able to find the name of the prefab. I'm gonna get back in.
People know
Show
it.
the other stuff. Yeah, it's in there and it works, and it actually is pretty cool because I went and did like my stairway to heaven type stuff.
Nice. If you've been to the Rise, if you've been to any sewers or cistern, we got those pieces. Yep, up and down. We'll happen.
So this is one that is players may recognize. I'm going to stay off to the left here because I'm pretty sure the wyvern is down there. I don't want to aggro him because I'm going to go try to tame him. Let's see if I can catch a glimpse of his edge. So this is the type of stuff that I was talking about where you may go to scenes and you may find rooms that you know well, which we'll be putting some of these rooms out. There'll be blueprints for them. So, I think I see him back there. A little green speck from him.
He's got a throne. Is that where he sits on that throne?
Yeah, he's off to the side of the throne. Just I was looking for. This was players requested I throw the wyvern in. Pretty much demanded. I throw the wyvern in because that's what they some of the tamers really wanted to see. But anyways, you can see the room here, and actually I'm gonna try to get in here without aggroing them.
And the wyvern is still a work in progress, but it looks awesome. I sit next to Reed, who's working on it, and it's coming along great. One thing it didn't have was it didn't have a mouth. So a lot of the attack animations, Reed's trying real hard to get a mouth on the wyvern, but I'm excited about it.
But anyway, so this is a room that many high-level players have probably seen before. It's like one of the last rooms in the Rise.
Oh, that's that nasty lich with all the...
Yeah, so lots of skeletons in here is what I have. But this will be an example of you may go to a room like this, and over time, that'll be one of the rare drops that'll be unique to that room is, hey, guess what? This room drops a blueprint for this room sometimes.
Somebody asked, and I thought that was actually a really good question. Could you, as the owner of the basement, potentially be friendly to the Denzians of your own dungeon? It's like you're the dungeon master, and I think that's cool. It's a faction thing.
Yeah, and so it could be that's one of the things we keep looking at is how we want to expand this and whether we want to, some of this is we're trying to catch, walk the fine line of immersion balance and not just stopping all over that, and how to justify like the dungeon master god mode and also exploit stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there will definitely be some options in there so you can control things.
Because these monsters they drop less loot than regular overworld monsters because this is a macroing nightmare, but they drop some and they do give some experience. So.
Yeah, and for those who are wondering,
granting you god mode,
kind of the current target is, and many people don't even know this, when you go to a control point, the creature difficulty is really 2 notches up for what its loot is compared to other places in the game. That's just because you can get so many. And I still haven't aggroed it. I'm going to try to sneak up on it here and see if I can get up close and do a tame on it. Hold on.
I still haven't seen it. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
I
there
do
it is.
see him.
Okay.
So this is
So I haven't aggroed him yet. He's
slow
not
reveal.
moving. Yep.
Can you show his ankle?
Yep.
Can you show his knee?
All right. Here we go. I'm gonna try to race up onto him and start the taming before he aggroes on me.
Where's your collar? Where's your whistle? Where's your taming skill?
Well, I got to beat it down a little bit first, and I'll switch over.
Really?
Yeah, you got to get the health down to half.
Yeah.
It starts here, so I better get it working here. And get ready. Charge!
He's gonna die.
Oh, he's so going down. All right, you guys ready?
Look at it.
There it is! What do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so actually, this was to troll the people who were harassing me when I posted something about dungeons. They all jumped in and said, "Dungeons? Show me the wyvern. I want to see the wyvern. Where's my wyvern?" So
There he is.
take that. You can wait another day or two and you'll see the wyvern for real.
I've seen it. It's awesome.
All right. So anyway, so the big point is, again, dungeons, and I think I just demonstrated some of what you can do with it. I may make a few more videos over the next few days and weeks just so you guys can see more of the coolness as it comes along. And hope you like it, and turn it over to Star, I guess.
I was really excited about the wyvern. You got me too.
Wait, you didn't know about the? You didn't know about the?
No.
You didn't know about the trick? Yeah.
No, I was
Yeah.
really excited.
Well done. Well played.
Yeah.
You got him good,
Like that.
man. That was.
Boom!
Yeah. You sure showed them.
By the way, Star tried to talk me out of this, so.
Yeah. Unsuccessfully. Unsuccessfully. All right. That is our show. Thank you, everybody, for watching us. And that was just a really short sneak peek of the dungeons. And we'll be showing more with the Release 57 live stream, which is going to be September 7th. Stay tuned for that post, which will be going live early next week. And remember, today is the last day to get the Release 56 stretch goals, and we're getting mighty close to that Ether Dragon statue. So if you want a big glowy blue statue in your house, let's get on it. We got till midnight. We can do it. I feel it. Feel it. We already got the Ether die. We already got the Ether bow and crossbow, the double XP weekends that's going to go through the month. We already got the Ether sword and shield and the Ether lich statue. We need a dragon. All right. And Release 57, help us test it on QA over the weekend and get some cool testing incentive rewards. And Release 57 is going to be awesome quality of life stuff. Do it. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.